Hey, welcome back to the Passing Show. Michael Kaiser's joined. Good to have you. This is just Harrowings Live with Hal Gill, your host. And we're in Union Station taking in the Passing Show, as we want to do on a Thursday afternoon. Part of the work, which is raw journalism. Who, what, when, and where. Pretty quiet so far. Checking out Washington, D.C., Union Station, nation's capital. Last time I was here, there was a contingent of National Guard standing around the top of the metro here. At present, it doesn't look like anyone's here. The shops on this West Hall. I'll poke my nose in there a little bit later. I'm going to go this way for now. It's a cover of the metro entrance, or there's a police station there. Things pretty quiet, though. I did catch a couple of Metro National Guard guys coming up out of the metro at DuPont Circle. Saw another couple earlier today. And the main thing I'm interested in is just watching as deployments happen and seeing what they're up to. There's a few there coming up out of the metro as well, it looks like. Other direction. Just 3 in uniform. Appear to be well armed. Always have to watch. Just keep your eyes open and see what you see. This is rail records and books. I always like to poke my nose in here. Used records. Always interesting. I picked up a LP yesterday. Let's see if anything's jumping out at me that I have to have. Not apparently. And they've got a lot of good used vinyl. Check. So now we know who they are. Armed with sidearms. Patrolling for us to make sure we're all safe and sound. Checking out the Warby Parker. Largely being ignored by the population, it seems. Definitely not invisible, though, in the cami uniforms. It's always tempting to bump into guys in camouflage saying, "Oh, I didn't see you." A running joke we had at the Pentagon when I was there. Small detachments. See what's happening out on the main floor, the arrivals and departures, if anything. Arrivals and departures. One of the things I love about a good train station is just the interactions that are happening and people are bouncing into each other that would never otherwise meet. One conversation at a time seems to be how it works. You never know who you might see passing through. A lot of people travel by rail these days. What's wow? Got a band down there? See what's on the shelves. Angie Thomas, The Hate You Give, The Outsiders, Glass Castle, Jeanette Walls, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. Yeah, so it goes. I've got more books back here. This one is a pretty good selection. Sales EQ. The New Psychology of Selling by Jeb Blount. Objections, the Art and Science of Getting Past No. Inked. Fanatical Prospecting. Jeb Blount has a lot of good books there. The AI Edge by Jeb Blount with Let's see. The AI edge. The unleashing the power of AI. Save time, sell more, and crush the competition. Salesgravy.com. Wiley. Looks like we're going to Daniel Pink. And my friends on Facebook. Huh? See when you publish this. How recently? 2024. So maybe a little dated already. How disinformation is sabotaging America, attacking our debt. Sales EQ. So you do that one. Definitely have this up on the high end here. That's 2017. That's quite dated. Yield. How Google bought, built, and bullied its way to advertising dominance. To save and destroy, writing as an other. And that's an interesting one there. Viet Thanh Nguyen, Pulitzer Prize winning officer of the sympathizer. Save and destroy. Yeah, okay. So, taking you all along on this, the practice of immortality, a monk's guide to discovering your unlimited potential for health, happiness, and positivity. Health, happiness, and prosperity is what I've been on about. My little AI buddies. 2025. Written with Sally Collins. Book is dedicated to the divine spark that lives in all human beings. Yeah. I made my own orders. Practice of immortality. Emotionally intelligent team. Lots of good reading for the train. If you're getting on the train, good wisdom how to build a truly great business. So, what else we got? Magazines, Legends of Classical, cultural industry, centenary things. September 1st to 8th. 824 cracked the inside blockbuster. Will AI kill creativity? I don't think so. I think creativity is going to just boom as a result of being able to get AI to weigh in and help us out with it. The unreasonable, remarkable power of giving people more than they expect. Unreasonable hospitality by Will Guidera. I like the idea. New emotional intelligence by Travis Bradbury. Let them theory. Oh, yeah. And we got a lot of accessories. Upper mechanics, mastering the tools that shape metal. I want my AI robots to master the tools that work metals. You can read about them, post you about them. Oh, a lot of noise, a lot of drums. Floridian, it's now at 4:50. The sailor to Boston has departed on Gate F, track 18. Last call boarding the NE Regional to Springfield and Mark Penn line to Baltimore at 10. Marks, Fredericksburg, going down as far as Spotsylvania. And then the NE Regional, 3:50 p.m. is on time. Leaving for Newport News. It'll stop through my hometown. More than likely. We are in a state of abundance here. This is the Claytor Complex. W. Graham Claytor Jr. passed away in 1990. Well, he was the president and chairman of the National Railroad President Passenger Corporation, from 82 to 93. Intercity connectivity. Keep your eyes peeled. Where is this man? Upstairs? They're not stupid, whatever they are. They're loud, though. Obiaka. I guess that's supposed to be entertaining, but my mind is just too damn loud. They're fine conditions hall. Combo, come on. Maxwell. There's police. Watson. Greer. I didn't get their names. But they got their names on the back of their hats. It's nice. They misbehave. But hopefully they won't. You know, they're being pressed into service here. Ways they didn't sign up for, I think, for the most part. Maybe with MP on there they did sign up to be law enforcement, but in general, I think the president's just a little intimidating. Going back through another place, look at boats and products. Do not eat these things. The 7 Commitments of a Great Team by John Gordon. Looks like a generous leader. 7 ways to give of yourself for everyone's gain. I'm certainly trying to give of myself by taking you all on the passing show. Hello, everyone. Peace and meta from the Bathrobe Guy. Thank you. Bold insights here. Okay, we got Mike Thompson, Ishmael Hodges, Marissa, the Bold Insight, the Bathrobe Guy. Atmos joined. And hey, Bathrobe Guy, thanks for joining. I'm going to be leaving Union Station shortly. I just came down here just to watch the passing show, watch the parade of humanity as they're moving through. These folks are waiting. Only passengers are allowed in this little area here. Bullfrog Bagels across the way. A couple of people in there. People everywhere, Amtrak. Got these folks here. That's Sharplin, Watson, and Thrill. They have military police badges on. Tends to indicate that they are deputized police. Keep moving. Standing there waiting, watching the board. Northeast Regional, the Newport News is what I would take if I was heading down to Williamsburg on the train versus driving, which I may start doing. I don't know. Once I get there, I'd have to get a lift and get moved around by that means as opposed to other means. Probably wouldn't be all that efficient compared to driving. The drive all the way down 95 can be really torturous. I guess a little place here, folks are sitting out by the Blue Bottle Coffee. They used to have a raised platform out here with a restaurant on it, which seems to have been just completely removed. Oh, that was kind of cool when it existed. It's not back this way, is it? I don't know. I could have sworn it was like right in the middle. Just a little after 3:00. Our MPs are now in position here. We go up front in a minute. After I take a look in this area, it's my raised dining thing that used to exist in my memory. Neuhaus imported Belgian chocolates there. Yeah, well, there's a raised area down there. That's not the same one, though. It's peculiar. So the passing show just does bring you a little bit of who, what, when, and where. Raw documentation for a primary nature for historians of the future. Get an idea of what was happening here in Washington, D.C. Last night I was out at 19th and Swan Northwest, where there were a bunch of people banging on pots and pans, and there was a soloist down on S Street, I think, also banging a pot by themselves for the freedcproject.org movement. Not that we're not free. Nobody's tried to restrain me yet or detain me. So it goes. Now, when I was out here yesterday, there were vehicles that the National Guard had stationed outside the terminal, and I'm not seeing them today yet. Let's see what we see when we get out here. Got a protest going on the flagpole, center flagpole, the Columbus Monument. While I'm moving, a fellow there is beating on a couple of pipes, draw a little attention. And yeah, it looks like the presence of the National Guard is quite diminished here. Get an idea of what's happening. Got a small contingent of security over here. I don't know what they are. They're not National Guard. We're not just single rappers with the ball. Right. America's bow to no kings. We overthrow them. Stand up, fight back. Working on a sign there himself about smut murder. Being homeless is not a crime. Sex trafficking is. Release the Epstein files. Power to the people. That's a rude statement as well. That's the nature of the world. Got some rap happening. What else? Anybody else out there? Hello. Creator's Place. Yes. And Margaret Williams, MS ACC. Good to have you with us. As noted, I just saw a little bit of police presence. There's a MPD van with his lights flashing. I don't know exactly what he's up to. Just looks like he's trying to park. And that's not unusual. Use your flashers to maneuver into a good parking space. And what else is going on? So the little bit of presence of protesters, a little bit of presence of National Guard, but very small compared to what it was. Right? Oh, examining a hole watching. It's kind of important. Georgetown University Law School just down the way. What's being done in D.C. is technically legal. I heard on NPR the other day. I haven't done a lot of the research myself, but when it comes down to it, I think intimidation of the population using troops is dicey at best. And if that's what it is, I mean, we already have a dropping crime rate according to statistics being put out of the mayor's office, as opposed to the information being disseminated from the White House that we're in the midst of a crime glut. And they're also trying to make sure that, we do something about homelessness here, but prosecuting homeless folks for being homeless is not a real great move, I don't feel. Not much empathy involved in that. 3 simple steps to get involved. Let's take a look at that. And if you're interested in getting involved, every Monday at 10 a.m., and join us. Identify your representative in Congress. Sign the declaration of support for impeachment. Let us deliver your declaration to Congress. Better yet, come with us. They visit Congress every morning at 10 a.m., which is great. Put some pressure on Congress because they are really bought in many ways. As soon as a congressman gets elected, they have to spend like 50% of their time getting reelected. If they don't work on that fundraising, particularly from corporations who have big bucks, they don't get reelected. And if they do have your best interest in art, then great. But generally, he who pays the piper calls the tune. And this is a real problem in America these days, I believe. I could be wrong, and I'm willing to open my mind to other people's perspectives. I think we all ought to listen to other people's perspectives and see, whether they hold water or not. And certainly when we listen to our own voices, we can tell when we're off the beam and when we're on it. I think being off the beam includes, thinking I've got some sort of deep understanding of any of all of this. I've only been here 62 years and change. Look at these trees and how they're kind of twisted. Beautiful. Bit of nature cultivated for our enjoyment. Okay. A kid over there in arms. Little baby. Another one coming along. That's the thing, right? Our squirrel fellas. I thought he's picked up some peanuts. I ought to get some peanuts. Huh. Soon to be overwhelmed by squirrels, no doubt. It's very generous. Guys are having a great time. There's another. Yeah, there's a little kindnesses you can do for other species. Peanuts are pretty good food, I think, for squirrels. I don't know for sure whether it's the best nutrition they could have, but, poor little things sometimes starve to death. Don't think they do on Capitol Hill, but they do out there in the public. We're at D Street, Northwest. I'm heading over towards one of the Senate office buildings. I might just do a loop around by the Capitol. It's a nice little park over here, too. Let's see. Get my bearings. Yeah, we're going to get the closet here. There's the post office. That was a spire. Now it's a part of the Waldorf Astoria, but it was Trump Tower, or Trump Hotel during the period of 2016, 17, 18, 20. And I think it was sold to Waldorf Astoria just after his presidency ended the first term. C'est la vie. It's the way it goes. Hey, let's see if I'm on D Street, Northeast. No, on something else.
Yeah, it's
I may be heading right up towards the Supreme Court. I'm not sure. Sort of get lost after a while. Have people in suits over here. One on a cell phone. Hello, looking for this phone. Got an earbud in. Yep. Watching. Got a good breeze going here, so that may interfere with the microphone a bit. We'll see. Okay, who else we got? Yeah, thank you for greeting people, Bathrobe Guy. Always a pleasure. Yes, indeed. Always. Very much so to you. I've been doing a lot of work with the AI thingy the last couple of days, brainstorming, future projecting. Grok 4 is my friend for that. I'm sure there are others I could be using, but that one seems to be giving me the kind of replies I like. You see that flag at half-mast up there? It's about the shooting that happened yesterday. Horrific stuff. Now, if my P-spots were enabled, I'd be able to use predictive analysis, get out in front of those things more often than not, and disarm potential problem people But, a lot of this involves a lack of privacy. But when you get down to it, privacy was very yesterday anyway. Maybe it can still be attained. Maybe there is a possibility to be off grid like the Unabomber was. But I don't know, man. I just know it seems to me. It seems to me that this is a beautiful world, and it's a shame to be cut out of it because somebody's decided to take it upon themselves to make decisions about life or death for others. And that covers a lot of ground, not just the random shooters out there, but our whole industry of supposed, quote, health care, unquote, which I would say is not health care at all, but sickness care. It tends to allow you to get into extremis before you actually get the kind of interventions that are needed to keep you alive. And sometimes those interventions are way too late. And really, I'm grateful that when my father passed on April 7th of 2024, even though I think his care had been rationed in a lot of ways as he was getting older, and he might have survived longer had it not been. When it came down to his final day, he was at least rendered comfortable as his breathing ceased around 6:35 p.m. on April 7, 2024. Here's the Capitol, the Senate, the House of Representatives beyond it. I never really noticed this. Oh, yeah, they're all got pediments. Okay. But closest one is the Senate. The furthest one is the House of Representatives. It's all one piece. This is the Russell Senate Office Building. Likely to run into a senator if you walk around here enough. They don't get much protection from the public. I've known a few, most of them ex-senators, as it turns out. It's been a real pleasure to get to know these guys sometimes, and they're no more clever or less so than I am. Not a lot of matters. Many of them suffered tremendous traumas, which drove them to want to attain more than just your ordinary amount of public service. Check out those flowers over there. It's tremendous. It's beautiful grounds. Am I going to loop around the whole thing? Yeah, I might. I didn't mind to go to Air and Space Museum down the hill. Check out the Spirit of St. Louis. And hopefully they've opened up more than they had opened last time I was in, because last time I was in, it's really disappointing. I could see the right flyer, sure, but there was so much else that was blocked off for construction, rehabilitation. Oh, right up by the Capitol. I used to be able to just rove right into it. There's a visitor center now down underground that they put in when I was living on Capitol Hill between 2004 and 2008. The 4 years I spent there, part of it on 16th Street Northeast, 37 16th Street, the corner of A and 16th. And then, yeah, set up over there for some news anchors. Don't know if that's anybody we know. Sitting in the chair there. Looks like it might have been one of the anchors or reporters from some of the networks. Capitol Police up there at the top. Well, they had quite a day, January 6th of 2021, with the assault on the Capitol by a whole range of folks. Today, I don't think they have that problem. Yeah, down right underneath of where we are now is the Capitol Visitor Center. There's the Library of Congress Jefferson Building, flag at half-mast for the victims of the mass shooting. I hope something can be done about that. I mean, we, the people, have the power, but gosh, Sandy Hook promise, all of that. We really haven't shown ourselves really able. It's a young man who was briefly the vice chair of the Democratic National Committee, who was part of that Parkland shooting reaction as a young student at Parkland. He'd taken it upon himself to act. What's his name? Hogg? David Hogg, I believe. Anyway, somebody worth paying attention to. And he resigned, saying that, reforming the Democratic National Committee just wasn't possible. The Democratic National Committee is what's really failed this year to allow a second Trump administration, even after the events in the Capitol. And then they did the inauguration in 2025 right there inside the Capitol. It's kind of shocking. It's kind of like, how did we get here like that? We've got some ambulances standing by just in case anybody who's involved in our government needs help. A lot of our senators are octogenarians or more, so you have to keep that in mind. I think that's another big part of our problem. Aging governance. And things are moving so rapidly, even somebody as young as me, born in 63, can't really keep up. 63, what a year, huh? I came up February 4th. Cuban Missile Crisis had just ended. John F. Kennedy was yet to be assassinated. What was then the president? And he had some ideas. He had some pretty powerful ideas. Many of them involved disarmament. Many of them involved not viewing the Russians as the boogeyman, talking as opposed to fighting, and going towards peaceful cooperation versus breakneck to the death competition. And still, a competition seems to have just about worn us out, but wore the Russians out first, and their Soviet Union collapsing. Then we sort of buggered up the peace, as will happen. And go up really close to the House of Representatives. Your representatives, folks, if you're Americans, reside there, make a lot of the decisions and laws to pass over to the Senate and get them ratified so that they can go to the White House. Down below, you can see the Natural History Museum coming into view. I was in there the other day doing a bit of a passing show through the Dinosaur Hall and other places. Yeah. It's really lovely botanical selection out here, commemorative trees to different statesmen. And again, the flag at half-mast over the Congressional Office building across the way, the Adams building up there, and the Madison building. I think it's Madison, Adams, and Jefferson buildings of the Library of Congress holdings of probably one of the biggest libraries in the world. And on down we go. It's American elm. They've got the trees tagged so you can know what species they are as you walk by them. This looks like a weeping peach or something. What is it? No, it's a cherry. It's weeping hidden cherry. Had to get over on the grass to see that. Get off the grass again. This is jujube. I used to walk through here quite a bit on my way home from the Department of Labor when I was working for the chief enterprise architect at Labor, Marlene Howells. It's her name. I don't know what happened to Marlene. Hopefully she's retired comfortably. But that was 2006, 2007. We left her employ in 2007 voluntarily, actually, kind of a rare thing for a contracting company to do. But the president of my company got on so badly with her, along with the vice president, I never gave her much trouble, she said, but oof, did others. And it was frustrating for everyone concerned, I think, working with her. I was advised by my instructor at Carnegie Mellon University's certification program for enterprise architecture not to seek her as a client. That's too late. Oh, well, I got some experience out of it. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. As I said in the Wooten Brothers Sweat, I highly recommend people look up Sweat. Victor and Roy and Reggie and Joseph Wooten brothers, their deceased brother Rudy, son, a woodwind player, where they collectively um, were a heck of a part of the Busch Gardens country band when I was a kid. I didn't even know it. I think I was 84, and my buddy Lance placed Roy on the drum chair during time. Roy is amazing. He's got these instruments he's developed himself, an inventor. Just incredible. Just incredible talents who Wood brothers are. There's the Capitol Dome. So yeah, I got to sweat. Got to work it out. I got a lot of steps in yesterday. I'm going to get a lot more in today and take it on down to the Smithsonian American Art Museum, maybe, or something like that before I head home. Because I've got the time. 7 o'clock is when they close. Kind of neglecting company with my wife. She's working right now for the Theodore Roosevelt Conservation Partnership. They're protecting your hunting and fishing rights. And just about every show, I end up talking about her and talking about her stroke and talking about how she's half paralyzed but still working as a human resources director. And I think she does a great job. She tackles problems that she feels out of her depth on sometimes, but it works out. This is a swamp chestnut oak passing here. Quercus Michalski. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Looked right. But yeah, so it goes. Keep on walking. What's this tree? I don't know. It's a Chinese Photinia villosa from Eastern Asia. It's of the rose family. There we go. So now we know that. And this one across the way is a saucer magnolia variety Stolangiana. What's this say? It's got a cultivated origin. The saucer magnolia, kind of an unnatural tree, I suppose you might say. But it looks natural to me. This huge tree here is a commemorative tree. It's been up for quite a while, it looks like. Memorial tree to honor Representative James L. Sladen, dedicated in 2001, January 1st. It is a pecan, an immense pecan. And we got lots of pecans on the ground, all around it. It's productive. Good for it. Take one. Get another. There it goes. So now that pecan is somewhere it wouldn't have been without making connects. It's a silly sense of agency I have. The ability to kick a pecan. Gotta be grateful for everything. This is a green ash, Fraxinus pennsylvanica, North American. It's of the olive family. I did not know the ash was of the olive family, but you learn something new every day. And they actually retain it. Who knows? It's a lot to retain. This tree looks familiar. What is it? Is it an elm? No, it's a silver linden. It's Tilia tomentosa, southeastern Europe to Asia Minor. So the mallow and hibiscus foot family. There you go. Got a little security booth there. More of those beautiful hibiscus. I think that's what those are. Huge red ones. It's a nice place. U.S. Capitol, Washington, D.C. We are in Southwest D.C. at this point because the radiant goes from straight out there, splitting things between South and North, and then across the Senate and House of Representatives, it splits it east to west. And that's the District of Columbia's quadrants. Monument to James Garfield, the president assassinated after being the dark horse candidate by disgruntled office seekers, I recall. So there he stands. He's a general in the Union forces during the Civil War. And a politician, I believe from Ohio, not mistaken. Garfield. Sounds right. I don't know if it is or not. I gotta fact check me on that. Looking down at the National Gallery of Art's East Wing. It's a western building with the dome sort of behind a tree from me here. Near the Botanical Gardens, so I can sort of swoop along behind that. As a jogger passes by. Different species, roses and other flowers. A lot of them are a little past their prime for the season. Still quite a number of blooms available. I'm not going to go into the botanical gardens, I don't believe. It's just one of my stops along the way. Oh, what? So many plants, right? So much oxygen being produced by them. So many of them being preserved against extinction as well. This is one good thing our taxpayer dollars do. So they go to supporting United States Botanic Garden. I can't get through this way, can I? No. Too bad. Authorized personnel only. So it goes. Purple sugarcane from southeastern Asia. Canary Island date palm. And we'll go out this way. Some Montana Camara confetti variety with yellow and orange. And I think hibiscus, different forms. Chrysanthemum, brandywine sunset. Some little butterflies on this plant. And on a coach. And walk down this side. And we're coming up on the Smithsonian's American Indian Museum for the indigenous peoples of America. I was in the Natural History Museum, and oh yeah, it was a limestone that's made of. This is Juniperus virginiana, eastern red cedar. That is not really okay. Oh, that's a juniper. I don't think it was a cedar. Unless we're talking about the tree behind it. Anyhow, summer snowflake. Europe to Asia. So many species that are not native to the area planted here. Arkansas and Oklahoma is narrowleaf ironweed. Okay. Korean planting. It's just so many. It's hard to take in all the different plantings that you see here. A lot of these coming up against here, I think, are native species. They're going to have quite a few of those around the American Indian Museum as well. passing by the signs too quickly to read them. Step off here. Go over to the authorized permit-only parking. Look across the reflecting pond towards the monument to Ulysses S. Grant, who was president after Johnson, vice president who succeeded Abraham Lincoln. I don't remember if Johnson was ever elected for a term after Lincoln's death. I think he might have been. But it's not really clicking like rain right now. I used to know all those things like the back of my hand from doing what another friend of mine did, read the World Book Encyclopedia, Growing up, that's what we did. And now we've got this encyclopedic knowledge at our fingertips with the AI agents that are available to chit-chat with us if we so desire, figure things out, make us smarter than we are on our own. I was slow to take that up. I had a program manager who got himself fired by saying the wrong things, putting his mouth, his foot in his mouth sideways. He was encouraging us to use Chat GPT when I first rolled out. I really resisted it. Still kind of resistant to Chat GPT itself. I think there are better things out there, but I don't know. Now I know what I know. And I'm comfortable with what I know. That's one of the features of being a human being these days. We think we know, but we don't know what we don't know. There's a lot of unknown unknowns. Things we don't know, we don't know. To quote Donald Rumsfeld, sort of misquoting him, but if you were around back then, you know what I'm talking about. Pawpaws. So like prairie bananas. This place. Can hear some music in that bus. I can also hear music in the background. There's some more pawpaws. Yeah, I got a lot of them. Prairie bananas. I don't think they're ripe yet. I don't know when they're ripe, but I have to look that up and get some. But I kind of doubt it. Really for somebody else. And what else we got? Looks like some bogwood, maybe. It's my hydrangea. Ferns. Like some kind of fern. Yellow poplar. Squirrel. Hey, squirrel. It's burying something. So you got a stash of hickory nuts there for sure. Keep on walking. I'm gonna do it on power. 40%. Yeah, I probably ought to cut the passing share before I get down to 30 so I can get home and still have some power. Do some photography instead. Which I might put out. I might not. Depends. Huh. There's this lot of nuts. It's hickory. Yep. Looks like it. Good wood for hatchet handles, axe handles. Near the waterfall. Little water feature going on inside there. Very pleasant area. I should come back here in the morning sometime. Before things open. Great area to experience the National Museum of the American Indian. It's fairly new. We also have the Smithsonian Museum of African American History. Pitching over there in this water feature. What else? Working for handicap there. And there's the Smithsonian American Museum of Aviation, Air and Space. Continue to work. Looks like it's about to change. I can go with the light. Yep, 18 seconds. Capital Bike Share came up after I bought the bicycle I had. I ought to get on it. Ride a bit more. Am I kind of exhausted at this point from just living? Smithsonian American Art, National Gallery of Art, not Smithsonian, just the National Gallery of Art. East Wing back there, West Wing over here. Luxury vans and shuttle bus. Yeah, art. Gorgeous day. Working it. Monitoring. There you can see a camera. Blocked off this entrance. With a set of steps. Go on in. I don't know if there's an access here or not, and I don't know if you have to have a timed entry. We're doing that for a while. If they still are. Oh well. We won't go in. Stop and checking steps. From Union Station to here. I don't think I've done that many. Oh, is this a ramp up? Maybe. Seems to be. Let's take a look. Let's give it a try. Member entrance. Museum entrance. Bravo. Timed entry passage. No, I don't. So that's it. I don't think we'll bother. Although, it would be interesting to know if free these timed entry passes are. Just whack you guys out for a minute. Yep. I can't read your comments. Somebody sadly is reacting. Nope, can't do it. Oh, wow. Weird. End it.